Good morning, y'all. It is 4:27 this morning, and we are headed up to Lake Winnebago. It's nice and early. Date is June 29. Really excited to get up to Winnebago. I've been hearing there's a lot of perch action going on, and that the lake's just on fire, right? Everybody's catching them everywhere, and you can just go drop a line in the middle of nowhere and catch a fish. So I said, you know what? I'm going to get up early on Sunday morning. I'm going to head up there. So boat's hooked up. We just stopped at my favorite place, Quick Trip. Picked up a breakfast sandwich, got an energy drink, and we are ready to roll here. Got about an hour drive-ish, hour and a half ahead of us. So we are going to lock in for the hour and a half, get this boat pulled up to Winnebago, and then we're going to drop in kind of on the south side here. I got a cop going next to me here. But main plan is to start off on the perch, see how they're feeling. And then if the morning bite for perch is not very good, we're going to call an audible and go chase some largemouth and smallmouth out on the big lake. But as of right now, been hearing good things about the perch action early in the morning. And apologies for the lighting. It's going to change about a billion times as we go past street light, no street light. But we're going to start on the south side of the lake, mostly because it's close enough to where I'm driving up through that I want to, not have to drive all the way up to Appleton or any of those areas to get on fish. If the morning is going poorly and I have to call an audible, I'll probably end up gunning just the entire length of the lake. It's going to be pretty windy today, so I don't really want to get caught in 2 to 3 foot waves in my bass boat and have to run 10 miles back south. But we're just going to get up there and we're going to give it a go. So I'm going to focus on driving. I'm going to turn the camera off, and then I will see you guys back at the boat ramp. Okay, well, I'm an idiot. This boat ramp doesn't work. I've made a mistake. The water is way too low. I need to find another one. Guys, this is not good. I was supposed to be out there 20 minutes ago, and I am not. I need to quick pivot and figure that out, because that boat ramp, or what is supposed to be a boat ramp, is not a boat ramp. So we are gonna quick pivot, and I'm gonna go quick plug here. Use the Onyx Fish app. If you guys are ever wondering how I find boat ramps in places that I'm not familiar with, Onyx Boat or Onyx Fish. I don't know where I'm going to go. It's probably gonna be the west side or the Lakeside Park West boat ramp. Exactly where I just came from. Oh, that's infuriating. And the nice thing about Onyx Fish is I can actually pull up, so it's called Lakeside Park West Boat Ramp. And I can pull it up right here. I can see where the boat ramp is. I can drop a pin and then go. Really nice thing about Apple CarPlay in Onyx Fish is they have made it so you can actually put it on your dash or your big screen here that I have at my center console. So whenever I'm in these areas and I'm looking for things that I would expect to exist, like stuff like this I probably should have checked, I can just chuck Onyx Fish up here. It was really helpful when we were doing our camping trips, especially up in Hayward, middle of nowhere, when I didn't know where I was going. A lot of the maps that are on Apple Maps are just junk and don't have the boat ramps plugged into them as a discrete address that you can go to. So this is the way that I've been doing a lot of that. So I'm going to go drive all the way back into Fond du Lac, and I will check back in when I'm at the boat ramp. I probably should have followed those guys that had the big walleye boats and where they were going to drop off. So silly me, all good. We're going to head to Fond du Lac, and then we're going to find some fish. We will be rewarded for this. Okay, after that whole adventure, my camera fell twice. Not into the water. We're good there. Picked the wrong ramp. Didn't have cash on me, so I had to go get a 20. And then I paid an extra $15 because I couldn't get change. The boat's in the water now. The plug is in the boat. I made sure of that because I didn't want to have another fiasco this morning. So plug's in the boat, boat's in the water, and that way is Lake Winnebago, and we are actively headed that way. I have some picking up to do, but I do have my live scope. Didn't forget that this time, thank God. And we are going to really give them hell this morning. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know where they're going to be, what they're keyed in on, but plan is we're going to start off with perch, so fishing drop slip bobber rigs, redworms, thinking some leeches maybe, might find a couple walleye hanging out in there. And then from there, if that fishing's good, we'll try and catch as many as we want to eat, and we'll go from there. If the fishing is not good, we will switch it up, start hitting bass, flipping trees, trying to establish a pattern, see what's going on here. But this is really an area that I'm unfamiliar with. I've never fished the south end of the lake. I've only ever fished Winnebago 2 times. So it's going to be kind of an adventure, which is exciting. First time solo on Winnebago. Yamaha is feeling good this morning, started right up, no issues. And now we're just kind of going through the no wake zone here to get out to the main lake. I'm going to run it pretty conservatively this morning, just because I'm not familiar with what the bottom structure is, if there's any hazards, rocks, anything like that. Between Garmin and my Onyx Fish app, I'm normally pretty comfortable with what they're telling me. But I'm going to get some of this stuff put away. I have a net up there. I got to get the pedal steel seat put in, get all that done, get the GoPro strapped on, and I am running out of time as we are getting to the inlet here. So I'm going to put the big camera away. We know the plan. We know where we're headed. And we just have to get out there is the main thing. So I'm going to get us prepped to get out there. Going to leave the rods in the rod locker. I don't know if it's going to be choppy or not. Wind feels phenomenal. Feels like nothing right now. Knock on wood. But we're just going to kind of give her hell. So I'm going to get everything prepped, and then I'll see you guys when I'm out on the water. All right, we made it. Had to throw the hat on backwards. We were running at Mock Jesus. We're on Lake Winnebago. We're out here. Big deep breath. We're here. I am posted up off of a deeper weed line right now. I use some of my electronics to find it. I'm gonna go get the live scope ripping and see what we can do there. We have a little bit of a south wind, which is good, considering that means that I can tuck myself up. The only concern is that means that most of the mayfly larvae, all of the larvae are gonna be blowing all the way to the north side of the lake, which is an absolute hike if I wanna get up there and change spots. I think right now we have a lot of time because the wind was prevailing south this evening. So I'm gonna check the trolling motor in, get the live scope going, see if I can find this weed break or this weed edge, and then see what's going on there. I do have live bait today, so we're gonna be fishing live bait for these perch. I heard that's what worked best. And then we're gonna kind of go from there. So trolling motor in. All right guys, I was just packing up and I hooked into my first fish here. I was getting ready to leave the spot and go try something else, but I think it's just a sheep's head, but at least it's a fish, guys. It's just a little sheep, but we caught a fish, which is an excellent sign here. Perfect. Okay, you know what? I am not going to be picky here. First one of the day. Not a great one, but you know what? At this point, a fish is a fish, and I cannot be mad about a fish. Back he goes. See ya. Now, that's confusing to me, because if there's sheep's head here, I would think that there is perch here. That's normally the two come in pairs, right? Sheep's head and walleye and perch all kind of do the same thing, which would, for whatever reason, at least in my head, say that there's other fish here, is what I've been, or what I've experienced. I'm gonna rebait. Maybe we can eke one more out here. Guys, I'm tripled up on walleye right now. Just brought in the first one. This is the second one. It's a good fish. It all happened so quick. It all happened so quick. Okay, this one's a sheephead. I'm less worried about this one here. Still not a bad one. Okay, we'll get this guy unhooked. There we go. Okay, third fish. I had all three fish on all three lines that I was pulling. That is nuts. Oh my God. I couldn't even hit record on my camera. I don't even have the big camera out. I just started. It's another sheep. Whew, okay. Well, we caught one legal one. That was pretty cool. It all hit at the exact same time. They just started going off one after another. And I was like, oh my God. All right, here we go. That just turned my day totally around. See you, buddy. Okay, we have one walleye in the bag and a bunch more fish everywhere else. I would say that that is a pretty good pass. I don't necessarily want to turn around just yet, so let's get back out there with all of our stuff. See if we can't get on a couple more before we turn around and run all the way back. That was crazy. Oh my goodness. So I was just pulling a float like this. I was pulling a float through the chute down the center, and I was pulling a float on, or I was pulling a normal rig, just like a bottom rig on my other one, and everything just went crazy all at once. That was nuts. Whew. Still shaking up. Oh my goodness. That was exciting. I had a good run there. Okay, we'll get this one going down the chute here. Have that one start pulling. Oh man, I was freaking out there for a second. I didn't know if I was gonna land all those fish. I got lucky. Oh, everything just started pulling drag. All my rods went off all at once. I was like, oh my God. Okay, lesson learned. Set my big camera up even if I'm having a bad day and think I'm not gonna catch fish. Okay, I'm back on the big camera. Sorry about that, guys. So, what happened? Well, we picked up after I caught that one sheep's head a little bit earlier, and I made a run pretty far down the lake, and I'm kind of near Kelly's Reef or Kelly's Point, something akin to that. And I just chucked my rods in. I set this one up on a slip. I had my normal slip bobber with a red worm, and then I was pulling bottom with a crawler and a jig head. And the crawler with the jig head went off, then the center one went off, then the other one went off, and it was just bang, 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 and I had 3 fish on. In that madness, I didn't get to turn my GoPro on quite early enough. But I did catch one walleye, so I need to make sure that I have the right regulations for this lake, and I'm gonna check that on my phone. I have the walleye in the live well right now. If he's not legal, I'm gonna let him go. Okay, so there is no size limit after doing a little bit of reading there, but I don't like to keep them any smaller than 15, and this one hit the bump right at 15, so I'll pull him out of the live well, show him off to you guys real quick. Squeeze back around my camera. I don't have my normal setup. My first Lake Winnebago there we go. First Lake Winnebago walleye. He's not a tank by any stretch of the imagination, but man, Feels good to have come up here 3 or 4 different times, and I have a fish. Holy smokes. Okay, no, I lost him. Oh, shit. Oh, no. I was just saying it feels good to come up here and actually catch one. But now I just lost another one because I was playing around looking at my fish. So he's going to go back in the live well. I need to make sure that this one has bait. We have a whole bunch of stuff going on right now. There's one. Nice. Oh, it's actually a pretty good fish. It's fighting like a sheep's head. Oh, it's a really good walleye. It's a really nice one. No. There we go. Perfect. He's not a tank, but it's an eater for sure. Excellent. Take a quick peek at how big he is. Right at 15. That's eater size for me. Perfect. Fish number 2. Fish 2. Walleye 2. Been catching more than just walleye, but walleye 2. You know, I always have the most fun doing this. As dumb as it sounds, bass fishing is awesome, but I've bass fished for a good majority of my life. And while it's fun to get out, I had a fish. While it's really fun to get out there and slam bass and just get after them, I've really found myself enjoying more multi-species fishing. And to me, it's not necessarily about the bass technique or how you throw in the jig or, oh, if I can skip it underneath this dock, I'll catch one. Man, I just love to catch fish. And it's really become more apparent as I've gotten my boat. I just like to catch fish. I know that might be a dumb realization, but it doesn't matter what they are. Walleye, sheep's head, whatever. I just like to have a fish on the end of the line. So, fish. Whoa. A pretty darn good one on the ultralight. I was watching a TikTok. Okay, now this is the tricky one because he is in the middle of 2 rods here. I'm not sure what this is. Getting some head shakes. I was just changing out my GoPro battery, so I don't have my GoPro on right now. At least the big camera's still going. Good old-fashioned rod swap there. A sheep. A sheep. Come on in. Another little sheephead. Not bad. Back he goes. We'll rebait this one, get it down the chute again. Fish. There we go. On the float rod. My left side float rod is starting to pop off a little bit here. This is a pretty big fish. I'm fighting him on a medium heavy and he's giving me all I want. It might be a catfish. He saw that boat. He did not like that. Oh, it's a big old catfish. Well, not a big old catfish, but a big catfish. I don't mind catfish at all. I actually like them. So this here might be a yummy treat for me. He's eater size too. Oh, nice little channel cat. He's pudgy. I think he'll make for a nice snack for me. I'll let Sarah's family have the walleye and I'll eat the catfish. Nice little eater catfish. Looks good. I love catfish. I don't know why, I love it. Gonna almost go in the water. There's one. Wow. That's gotta be a catfish. He hit that like a freight train. Holy smokes. This has gotta be a catfish. That's big. No, sheep's head choked. Ah, shoot. Alright, I gotta save this guy. That sucks. Alright, well that one was released. I don't know if he was safely released, but he'll become a snack for something, I guess. It's not necessarily how I like to handle things, but I'm not a big sheep's head eater, and unfortunately that's just kind of a part of the sport. Doesn't make me feel any better about it though. There's a fish. There he is. I was waiting on him. He hit that like a truck. I don't think that this is a walleye. Nope, another sheep. Oh, but this one hooked himself good and he will live. All right, another sheep's head. Back he goes. We're looking for something a little different. I have a big old fish on. Holy smokes. Here we go. That bail's open. Shut the bail. I got a big old boy. I didn't even have time to get the big camera set up. Oh, that's a big walleye. Holy shit. Oh no, I just lost tension. Jesus. Too busy screwing around. That's a nice walleye, guys. That's a really good walleye. Oh, come here. Come here, come here, come here, come here, come here. Come here. Yes, dude. Oh, right away. We went a little deeper and it worked. Woo! Oh, it just popped out. Holy smokes, guys. Okay. Well, that's what I was waiting for. That's the exact thing that I wanted to have happen. And we're here. And there's a slot limit on these fish. This might be the biggest walleye I've ever caught. Let's pop them on the bump board here. Oh no. Nope, not quite, but that's a good fish. Excellent. There we go. We are limited on walleye, guys. We are limited on walleye. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna actually reel up the rods and start packing up, because that is all she wrote for today. I caught my limit. I'm good. Okay, if you hear it blowing, it's AC. I'm sweating like a hog. So we're back at the boat ramp. Boat's on the trailer. To kind of break down what happened today, it was a tough morning. So first we got up at like 3:30 in the morning and drove up here. That was all fine and dandy. And I drove myself to the wrong boat ramp that didn't have any water at it, so that was fun. And then we made about a 5-mile run out, which was great. Made, 5 miles down towards the north end of the lake, and was looking for perch, for walleye, for any type of fish, and I just wasn't getting anything. It was dead. And then the sheep's head broke the curse. Caught it on a little slip rig with a crawler, and I said, cool, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go drift and try and cover some water. So I rigged up some janky float rigs and some Ned rigs and some things that I could drag behind me, and went out, and hovering between 7 and 8 feet, and then, drifting into 6 and 5 feet. I did 4 different drifts. So I caught one walleye on the first drift, a second walleye on the second drift, and then the final walleye that I caught was on the very last drift number 4 that I was going to do, and he smacked it immediately as I was letting line out, and we were limited. So the lake had gotten a little bit choppier, so I was thinking, you know what, let's just go in, call it a day, we're where we need to be. And on the way in, I passed a speedboat, and I took my hat off to try and put my hat on backwards so that it wouldn't fly off as I was going mock Jesus down the lake, and it ripped my costas off, and the costas went in the water. So now I have to go to Cabela's and get new costas. But yeah, all in all, it's my first good day out of Bago. Super stoked. I'm gonna head to Quick Trip to grab some ice. I didn't bring any with me. And then we're gonna throw them in the Yeti bucket, let them chill off on the drive home, and then we'll fillet them up. But that's about all that I had for this video. It was kind of a wild morning. It's only 12:33, so we were out there for, 6 to 12 is 12 hours, so maybe 12 hours. And we had a lot of adventure there. So thanks for watching. I know this one was kind of a shorter video. I didn't have as many clips, but as always, I appreciate it. Tight lines, and keep getting out there.